For more than a decade, the Austin area has been the fastest growing large metro region in the country. As Laura Barone Lopez discovered on a recent trip, that explosion has brought sweeping changes to the Texas capital, including to its renowned music scene. The story is part of our Arts and Culture series, Canvas.
Bob Mann still considers Austin his home. It's where he was born and raised, where he followed his sister into music, learning guitar at the age of 10, a mix of rock and the blues. Mann played in bands through high school. And in 2005, music took him to New York City for more than a decade. But when he came back to his hometown, it was nearly unrecognizable.
It was kind of a little bit of a shock, just like traveling to work and sitting on I-35 in traffic and cursing all the high rises that were being built everywhere and all the cranes. I was working at the Hotel Van Zant, downtown Austin, would consistently hear real estate folks and developers come in and just talking about buying up plots and tear downs and this, that, and the other. And it was definitely kind of one of the moments where I was just like, what'd you do to my town?
On top of that, Mann couldn't afford to buy a house in Austin, so he left, moving 40 minutes away to Elgin, where he opened up this bar, which regularly hosts musicians from all around the area, including his own band, Blue Jean Queen. In leaving the city, Mann is far from alone.
Austin is known as the live music capital of the world, but the rising cost of living is driving out local musicians, and that puts music scenes like this one at risk.
In February, Sound Music Cities, a consulting firm that works with the music industry and local governments, released the results of its 2022 Greater Austin Music Census. It found almost 40% of people in the music business here were struggling to afford housing. Between 2014 and 2022, there was a 12% drop in musicians living in central Austin. And more than a third were considering leaving not just the city's core, but the entire region in the next 3 years.
Do you have friends that are local musicians that have stayed in Austin?
Yeah, absolutely, definitely.
And what do they tell you about the way it is?
They're looking for houses out here.
Do you think you'd ever move back?
I'd have to win the lottery.
Austin is home to more than 250 live music venues. Every year, it hosts internationally renowned festivals like South by Southwest and Austin City Limits. Estimates have shown the music industry generates well over $1 billion a year for Austin. But the city's flourishing music scene has helped attract another industry, tech. In recent years, tech giants like Tesla, Apple, and Google have relocated or expanded in Austin. Erica Shamley heads the city's music and entertainment division.
A lot of companies are drawn to Austin because the quality of life is really great. They want their employees to have some fun things to do. And of course, our music industry and all of the experiences we have with our festivals and events is a great location for tech workers or any kind of worker that is more of a high earner. And so as more people move in, there's just the catch-22 that the prices go up. And so the very artists that, created the experience of a place to where people want to be there, they want to enjoy the culture, those are the very folks getting priced out as more people come in.
The city has tried to help, doling out millions of dollars in assistance for the music industry, especially those impacted by the pandemic.
So quench my thirst with your fire.
But musician Scott Strickland, who's lived in Austin for a decade, says more can be done. He serves on the Austin Music Commission, which advises the city council. He'd like to see support like free parking for musicians playing gigs. And most importantly, he wants artists to have a voice in conversations about development.
Since I've been here, this city's really just turned into this money-making thing. How do we expand commercially in terms of real estate and just, everything else we'll worry about later. And that's been one of the biggest travesties that we've seen, in my opinion, in this city. The Death Star's been built already. We can't stop it from happening. All we can do is say, hey, if we're gonna build this high rise or whatever, if we're gonna have this commercial space that's also residential, that's also a work, you know, from home space or whatever the case may be. Can we put musicians in here somewhere so that we can, you know, make some money? And can we use, you know, diversity, equity, and inclusion to make sure that artists of all genres are getting paid?
Taking everything that I gave you away.
Not long after releasing his first album last year, Strickland himself faced eviction. He played at restaurants and other small gigs every week to make ends meet.
You could say music built Austin, right?
It is. Yeah, it has.
And so,
Absolutely.
do you think that it's fair that artists are scrapping by?
No, it's not. Absolutely, it's not. As musicians swing from vine to vine, what we're talking about is while they're like swinging, let's give them opportunities while they're doing that.
When you were really struggling, did you ever think that you may need to leave Austin?
No, this is my city. I'm not going anywhere.
But for change to happen, Strickland says it's important to hear from musicians who've left. People like Bob Mann, who wouldn't mind if some of Austin's music culture made it to Elgin, the small town where he's building a new home with his family.
I would see stickers when I lived in Austin of like, don't Dallas my Austin kind of vibes. And so I could see that being a thing here with a don't Austin my Elgin. But I just want to Austin it just a little bit, just.
Or the way Austin used to be.
Yeah, I would love to see Elgin kind of be an Austin of, you know, 70s kind of a real cultural melting pot.
That sparks inspiration for all
Exactly.
these artists.
Yep. That makes people feel welcome.
And he hopes his Lightnin' Bar can play a role in that transformation. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Laura Barone Lopez in Austin.